Hi, this is Gregory Giannakovo. They call me the Profit Prophet because I get to talk to people and tell them where there's profit in what they're doing. And one of the hashtags I use all the time for tagging my posts is that you can earn more without working more. And that's what I try to help people do. Today I'd like to talk to you about, we hear this phrase that people buy from people, and that's true, but they're only going to buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So just because you're a people doesn't mean everybody else is going to buy from you. And I want to talk to you about being visible online. You hear this a lot. If you check out anything online, there's a lot of people selling you branding courses, teaching you branding, a lot of free resources. But it boils down to this. You have to be visible. And you have to commit to being visible. You have to be consistent. And you have to deliver some value ahead of time. Consumers these days like to be educated. They like to feel educated. When they walk in to buy tires, they like to feel like they're not just a sitting duck for anything the salesperson tells them about. Dentists, lawyers, auto shops, house cleaners, all of y'all that have these different niches, any niche, you can take your time to educate people on what you do. So a tire guy might talk about the different kind of tires and which ones are best for all-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. There's the differences. They can talk about their guarantees and everything else. If you're a house cleaner and you're cleaning houses or offices, you would do well to become an expert in your field by talking about the allergy-free chemicals you use and how they're safe for pets and safe for babies and the difference between steam cleaning something versus different kinds of cleaning, and how sometimes it's good to pull up the carpet and seal the wood underneath it if you've had pets and they've done business on your carpet. I think babies do that too sometimes, don't they? But all these different challenges that face each niche, I think are really good things you can talk about to build up the authority, because you really need to deliver value in the sense of becoming an authority in your field. Wouldn't you buy tires for someone who seemed really professional and knows all about tires and educated you so that you feel you had some knowledge about it versus somebody had some tires on sale? This is the thing. You can get consistently 10 to 20% more for your services and your products if people look at you as the expert and you've helped them, educated them on the product so that they can feel they can really trust you. And that's the trust part that takes a little bit of time to build up, but you can do it online. So actually, visibility sells better than expertise. You can be the smartest accountant in town, but the business is going to go, generally speaking, to the person that's more visible, that makes their customers not feel stupid, that educates them a little bit on different things, that sends them a free guide, and so on. So you feel like, you have a leg up when you're talking to the accountants. You don't feel most of us feel like sitting ducks. You go to lawyers, accountants, buying tires, getting your car tuned up. A lot of these things, you're kind of, you just have to go along with it. You don't like that. You like to be educated first. You can actually do this on so many different platforms. Now, some platforms are a little bit better than others. LinkedIn is considered more business and professional than, let's say, Snapchat. Different demographics, so depending what demographic you're trying to reach. So you put a little study on that. And I would just say that in this next year, it's becoming more and more clear that you need to reduce your dependency on these platforms. Use them like heck. You can really get a business going on these platforms, and that's great. They accept advertising. That's fantastic. Targeted advertising, that's just what you need, especially for local advertising. But you really ought to very much consider, in fact, I would tell you to do this. You should have your own website of some sort where you can keep your blog, where all your videos and pictures and everything else is backed up in the sense that they're on their blog. So if you're putting something on YouTube and you're also putting on Facebook, fantastic. You should have it on your own website as well. It's not that hard to do, and there's really great ones like Insutanto, and there's Kartra, and there's Thinkific for courses, Teachable. There's Kajabi, does videos, courses, everything. A lot of these platforms, yeah, they cost a little bit of more money. But at the end of the year, I promise you, if August came along and you lost all your access to your assets on Facebook, you would gladly pay 150 times. You'd gladly pay $1,000 to get that back. So I suggest that you can put up a free website. You can pay $500 a month. You can pay $82 a month, $29 a month. Find something that works for you, that has the storage ability on it, and do that. That's really, really important. It's as important as backing up your files, which I hope you're doing, right? So using a blog is really important, I think. You can use that as your first step to not have all your dependency on Facebook, and a lot of blogging software. If you used WordPress, for example, that'll hold videos and it'll hold pictures, and so that'll do a lot of what I'm talking about. I would do a little bit more professionally. These platforms offer targeted ads. So just because you have your own website doesn't mean you're giving up anything. Go back on these platforms and use that to drive your traffic to your Facebook group. Make it clear that you have a website. Maybe you want to drive straightly to your website and then induce them to come to your Facebook groups or your other channels online, other platforms. 2018 started more, but 2019 is going to really be the year of local advertising. So you'll be able to use these platforms. You should use these platforms more and more to do local advertising. Really drill down. That's the way. If you want to get people to know you, you have to get in front of the people who need to know you. I mean, there's no sense talking to me. There's less sense talking to me about, let's say, baby items. My kids are grown up. But the person next door has 3 little kids of her own. So we live almost in the same area. You got to drill down and advertise to your target audience. They're the ones that need to get to know you. I don't need as much knowledge about certain topics as other people would. And this is going to be the year you really need to focus and figure this out. You know why? Not only can you do it, which you couldn't do 6 years ago, but because ad prices are going up. You can't just throw an ad out for a nickel per click anymore and expect to get a lot of business. You can't just be reckless anymore. You got to really focus in on your advertising dollar, and that means you got to drill down, get known to the people that are your target audience, and advertise to your target audience, whether it's everybody in a certain demographic or whether it's geo-targeted as well. Anyway, people need to get to know you, get visible, commit to being consistent, and deliver value consistently. Get to be the expert that people trust. I tell you, the visibility beats an extra 4 years in law school.